immediately. I think if I so now I just went live, you should get an alert, but chances are you won't. So I'll post a link myself. You got the alert. All right, that worked. There you go. I wasn't supposed to go live right away. I think if you stay in limbo and then it sends the alert and then I go live, I kind of did it backwards. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Good to see you. We are still living in the world of absolute market frenzy. We are trading stocks that have. Um, I found one yesterday that had a 1 for 2 million reverse split. It's the drop ship, if you will, of trucking companies. Yell, Yell, and we were having some fun with that. The OCEA was back, but more importantly, Nikola, NKLA. And as I continue to say, if that stock is publicly traded, then you can't take anything serious, nor should you ever again. The company said, we don't make trucks, we don't do anything. Our founder is a fraud and he's going to jail. And the stock still trades and now is up 300% for 2023. So obviously after Carvana, I hope that you have woken up to the idea that you don't need a formal education to make money as a trader, first of all. Second of all, if you have a formal education and you're trying to trade, you're going to lose money because what you learn doesn't apply to trading. It doesn't apply to investing unless you're buying Tootsie Roll and WD-40, because that's it. Tootsie Roll and WD-40. They trade on fundamentals. Here's how much money we made selling our WD-40. This is what it cost us. This is what we're probably going to make next year. And that works. No other stocks trade with fundamentals. It's all fear, greed, momentum, VWAP, and price. And exactly why we've been talking about this bull market now. It's 379 days old, not 28 days old. But more importantly, what we're witnessing on the Nicolas and all this junk that refuses to die and go away is that this is what I was taught is the dash for trash. When the market rallies and rallies and rallies, and every quote unquote good stock or real company, again, we could take into consideration that I guess Nvidia is a real company and Microsoft and to some respect Rig and Rivian. These are real companies that actually do things. But when you got companies that have 1 for 1 million reverse splits and fake drugs and fraudulent electric truck makers that are continuing to trade and look, I'm not saying don't buy Nikola. We traded OCEA today, and Nikola, I traded it the other day, and you know, same thing goes for the workhorse or WKHS and the weed stocks that are all completely bankrupt. It's a matter of what they're doing in the moment. And in the moment, 250 gets you five, for all I know, on Nicola. But stock breaks three with momentum. As a day trader, that's your dinner bell. Ding, ding. But let's reel it back in for a second. Why are you doing any of this? As far as I'm concerned, you're trading a trade that works every time it shows up. And I'm not just saying once in a while. I'm talking about Dan, you're listening, right? Dan's been following me, I think, since 2012. And he's saying, every time I do an earnings reversal, it doesn't work. And I'm saying, Dan, you must be looking at a different earnings reversal than I am. So the classic earnings reversal, right, starts with a gap up on earnings. And I think you know where I'm going with this one. Uber, right? We were talking about Uber about 2 months ago, and we said, hey, this looks like it's making a turn. Hey, whether or not Uber is going to survive as a company, thrive as a company, doesn't matter. The chart said it was going to turn. Let's buy some Uber, just like Beyond Meat, IEP, Penn, Hood, AAOI, Para, ADPT. And how about that GDRX, kids? Who gave you GDRX before anybody? Because I trade price and charts, not companies. GDRX is a company that may or may not survive. They're a prescription drug discounter. Who knows if they survive? It doesn't matter. GDRX is the same thing as CBLX, which is the same thing as ENVX, which is the same thing as NNOX, which is the same thing as US Steel, the big X. So give me some X, put some loud music on, and let's go raving. Because it's all the same. Hey, that NNOX ain't working out too well. So, doesn't matter. Do you realize we bought 19 stocks on May 1st and 18 out of 19 are doing things that you would never believe possible? By the way, I just want to update you. We do not own AAOI anymore. And you notice, and maybe you haven't noticed, I started to hate on Rambus, right? Because I started hating on Rambus because I can't day trade Rambus, so I don't want to watch Rambus. I decided I don't want to be involved in Rambus, and I got rid of Rambus. I'm not going to talk about Rambus anymore. I don't care where Rambus is going. If it goes over 120 one day, I'll buy it that day. But speaking of Rambus, they are gapped down on earnings today, so we will watch Rambus. Now, why this hatred of Rambus on a stock that I was loving? Who cares? Now I don't like it, and I haven't liked it for months. You know why? Because I can't day trade, and the options are illiquid, and it stinks. I don't like watching it, and it's awful. And every time I try to day trade it, the spread opens up and stops me out. So that's why I don't like Rambus anymore. I don't care where the stock's going in the next 2 to 5 years. Who cares? So reel it back in. You come in today and you say, all right, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the day. This is going to be the final. I'm going to finally trade the one that's going to reverse. I'm going to take one of these trades that Kenny says that works every time. Which one is it? It's Uber. Go with the most popular one. Go with the one with the most volume. Go with the one where the action is. And all of that, the volume, the action, the popularity, that's what makes the trade work. You don't want to look at a stock that nobody cares about. And by the way, I hope you guys are buying Nicola while we're sitting here. Let's go. Three got you 350. Do you know this stock Yell that we traded yesterday? It had a 1 for 300,000,000 a 1 for 300,000 reverse split over the last 10 years. Stock's been around, for like 30 years. Split adjusted, the high of the stock is 488,000. So, Mr. Jones, if you're out there, if you liked it at 488,000, you gotta love it down here at 45 cents. And that's where it was at, 45 cents. But that's what's awesome about this market. If you can separate the day trading, which is all algorithmic, from the swinging, which is borderline all algorithmic. You still wanna know a little bit about the company that you're swinging, right? You wanna know the swingers that you're hanging out with, or maybe you don't. We were all wearing masks that day. We didn't even actually exchange names. What am I talking about? Oh, swinging. You might wanna know a little bit about the company, but you really don't have to. And then it comes investing. What the hell's an investor anyway, right? My dad's an investor. He's owned Oracle since 1996. He was in Cisco for 26 years. He's an investor. He buys companies that he, well, thinks he knows about. Again, nobody knows anything. But you know what? He read about Oracle back in the day. He liked the CEO. He's owned the stock for 27 years. He still has it. That's investing. To me, investing is hanging in, hanging in with the stock to the point where you've made some money. And like Palantir, right? Palantir. We won. We won. We were in from 12.50. We had $15 calls. We had those weekly options. We finally made money on Palantir. 12.50 got us 15. 15 got us 17.35. On the pullback, we sold most of it at 16 and change on the way back down. And then we bought it back. And then we said, all right, let's not sell any until it hits 20. What did it do? It hit 20 today. So you could be done with Palantir. Think about what it's done. It was 750 and it went to 20. We're down to 10%. Carvana? The stock went to 58. What do you want? We're done with Carvana. I got one option left just in case it was to go to 100. I bought a new, what was it, January $85 call. I didn't expect it to make any money, but we've been in the stock since five, right? So when you're trying to day trade, swing trade, and invest at the same time, it is insane. You'll drive yourself nuts. And the reason, again, if you were with me yesterday, the reason I was looking to short GBRX yesterday because it was overbought on the day. And I know if I sell my stock, I'm never going to buy it back because I think it's going to go to 1250. So if I short it, at least I make something on the pullback, just like everything today. Everything's red when you wake up. I hate that, seeing my Beyond Meat back on the 17th. Whatever. I'm not worried about GBRX today, but you know, let's talk about rig, right? We bought the options yesterday. Right? It's gonna be an 8% loss. It's not a big deal. So if you get the rig trade, I bought next week's I got the next week's 950s for 16 cents and 17 cents. And then I sold again, I told you not to do this, but I did it anyway. I sold, the 1050s for 3 cents to just help me pay for the 950s for next week because I figured, hey, stock goes to 1050 on Friday, we're good. So again, kind of a wash right now. But more importantly, it's a stock that reported earnings that's gapped down. Now I ain't saying Rig's going to be some hero trade, some monster like Uber just was, because Uber was a pretty sweet trade just now in the short. But Rig, right? This is what I want. I'm an investor in Rig. I know it's funny to even say that out loud. I've invested in Rig. I'll say it. I'm proud. I know what they do. Well, then again, I don't know what they do. They think they build those massive. No, I know what they do. They have the oil rigs and blah 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 and Transocean. I know what they do. They've been around for 50 years. But this is an opportunity now that it's gapped down on the earnings. And again, why is it gapped down on the earnings? The stock has gone to 6.5-year highs into the report. This is just people like me taking the short-term profit, which I sold some. I had some stock yesterday. The stock was 8.95. I threw an offer out there. I got done at 5.90. Sorry, 6.90. But I'm not selling it all. I threw an offer out there. Got it was close to 9. I figured we were going to 9.50 last night. And next thing you know, it rolls over. But today we're back at 8.35. We get to look at the 8.50 calls. And this could be, again, if it just goes back to 9, you're talking some good money. So I'm watching Rig today for sure. And then we got obviously the Tupperware, right? Another amazing story here, right? Coming out of bankruptcy. And what's awesome is that I don't know if you know about this, but my my mom's best friend, her name was Hazel, and I was a kid. They did everything. Avon, Tupperware, Weight Watchers. If there was something to be sold and I have a party about it, my mom and her friends were involved. So you had Hazel, you had oh, who was the you had Lil, Hazel, Hillary, and my mom. And they were into Tupperware. So I've always had a special place in my heart for Tupperware. So when I saw that stock coming back, you gotta love Tupperware. Come on. Another bankrupt company ripping. The shorts are on the wrong side. You just play momentum. I mean, how much fun was this stock over the last couple of days? Now, as a trader and as a shorter, and as someone who likes to keep a little pinky in reality, this stock should go back to $4.20 today. But I'm not going to get in its way. But right now, it's showing us a reason to short. You got up to 550. You triple topped at the 550. You just failed at the 50 again, and now you're rolling over. So anybody that wants to short this thing is probably shorting it right this second at 524, 520, 515. And then looking at this spot right here, and you guys can't see what I'm doing. That's why you should join the website. If it breaks this spot over here, 505, chances are it goes to 488. When 488, it gets to 475, 475. Next thing you know, nobody wants to own Tupperware anymore. And it's a good short. But again, once it makes its turn, you better get the hell out of it because this market, these kind of stocks, they are crushing the shorts. But again, anything that's gone from a dollar to 550, you should be looking for some profit taking. Like BBIG, my friends, you know we're in the ninth circle of hell, right? Well, if there's a lower area, maybe the 10th circle of hell, or the bottom of the barrel, the muck underneath the barrel, underneath the muck, the microplasm that's working its way through the grossness underneath the barrel, that's BBIG. And that stock went up 500% in 3 weeks. And look where it is now. I think it's been delisted. So they just wanted to get one more pump in. And we're trading stock. I'm not trading a stock, but we're watching a stock called AMSC. If I'm not mistaken, this is a company from 1999 that we traded. Superconductors. Let me just make sure this is the same one. There was a company called Conductus, CDTS. There was a company called Scone, which is superconductor. And then you had AMSC. I'm pretty sure this is the same one. And what was once a pump and dump, yes, will probably be a pump and dump once again. So, yeah, it is the same stock. So, this is why this year, and again, 2021 and 2022 was the greatest year of my life. Just calling the short right in everybody's face, calling the Cathie Wood top. Nothing was more gratifying than crushing Zoom and Roku and all jokes of stock because I saw that, what I learned in 2000 and what I learned my entire career, I knew that was the time to be shorting stocks. Just like I saw the turn and we got involved, and I went from a day trader to suggesting swinging and investing. And but now we're here. We're at that inflection point where now you got to start taking money out of off the table and go back to the earnings reversal. Crush your Ubers, get your day trading hat back on, take some money off the table. We've won the Palantir, we won GDRX, we won, and by the way, we won the hood, even though I still like it. We won the ENVX. I still like that one. NNOX is basically the only loser, but you know what? We got options. The stock could go to zero. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of options and leaps. And if you don't know about options, I'll show you some more of that stuff on Thursday night. We're gonna have a late night schmooze on Thursday. You're all invited. By the way, the room is still open. Come on in. The weather is fine. Dip your toe in the pool. My pool's at a nice 76 degrees. I know most of you guys have pools out there, and the pools are too hot to even go in. So let me round this all up before 9 o'clock. If you're struggling with your trade, take the reversals on these earnings reports. I've never seen anything work this well in my life. And then from there, you build. And then from there, you build. You there, and then you lucky. And then you become a swinger, and maybe you become an investor, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just take your Uber trades and your OCEAs and your Tupperwares and your Nicola, and you call it a day, which is fantastic. I mean, nothing great, nothing better than being done with work by 9 o'clock in the morning, having a nice day's pay, 400 or 500 bucks, get the juices flowing. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. You look up and see Rand is tanking, you don't own it. Now, I'm not laughing at anybody in particular, but that's the only one I don't own. So I'm feeling pretty lucky right now. Out of all those stocks that I like, Rambus was the one I just decided I didn't like it no more because, and again, call me quirky, but every time I trade the stock, I lose money as a day trade. So I was like, I started to hate on the stock. It's like US Steel. I can't make money trading US Steel. I don't know why. I know what I'm doing, I think, but every time I trade US Steel, I lose money. So I hate the stock. It's the only reason, right? Same reason I hate Ohio State. I didn't go to Michigan. I mean, I do like Michigan 'cause my friend went to Michigan. I like Michigan State too because well, I don't want to tell the sexually graphic story about Michigan State, but maybe I will later on Moose. But I hate Ohio State. You know why? Because I'm a gambler and I've never ever won money betting on or against Ohio State. I just can't do it. So I hate Ohio State now. It's the only reason. Hate them. Hate them. Hate Ohio State. Anyway, but yeah, this is it. It really is. You know, right now when I say everything's working, everything's working. Your day trades are working, swing trades are working, your quote unquote investments are working. We're seeing a nice transition in the market right now. The queues are the ATM, if you will, right now. People are taking money out of the queues and they're buying everything else, right? Not like we're going down. We're only 6 points off the highs on the Qs. Those 6 points basically are people cashing out of the Qs and saying, hey, this hood looks good. Let me buy some hood instead. Hey, you know what? This power looks good. Let me buy some power. All right, I'm going to take a shot on some energy and oil stocks. This rig looks good. And that's kind of what's happening right now. If there's an exodus from the market, which may happen again, September and October are notorious bad months. But if we get through this August without any damage, you have to expect the market to give something back in September and October. They'll inevitably be the rumblings of recession. The people that have been wrong about it will continue to be wrong about it, but they'll keep pushing and pushing and pushing. But if you're seeing what's going on in cyberspace, you're seeing some of the bears capitulate. Oh, oof! I feel bad because I used to be them. And again, that's why this market made so much sense to me this time because this is the market that I got lit up. This is the 2012 market. This is between 2012 and 2015. I was getting smoked. Worst 3 years ever. Really was about a month and a half that was really the worst of it all. I just kept fighting a market that refused to go down. No more. No more of that. And I love shorting. And oh, we will short again and we will crush. But right now, you're just staying focused on individual opportunities. Uber short, pretty simple this morning. And, I got involved in some Tupperware. I got involved in some OCEA. And, you know, now we just look to see what we're going to do here at the open. A lot of stocks that I like are gap down. So I'll be looking at all that. By the way, CBLX is reporting tonight. I will be out of the stock. I'm probably going to give it a. I don't want to be completely out of the stocks, but here's what I'm doing on CBLX. We have a massive win on CBLX. Again, entry price was 685. Let's go. Stock's at 1195 right now, right? 1190, 11. Where is it now? CBLX trading. Let's call it 1160. Selling the stock, buying the options. So this is not exactly what you think I'm doing. Because with rig, you see, and you buy options into an earnings report, chances are you're going to lose. This is just to be in the name. So we're switching because let's say CBLX gets crushed tonight on earnings down 50%. I don't want to give back the whole trade. So I'm selling the stock and I'm going to buy probably I'm going to give myself I'm going to look at the September, maybe the September 15th. The just in case this thing explodes, I need to be in it trade. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at the 1250s, maybe go in the money. If I get a 1250 at $1.50, it probably makes a lot more sense than a 15 at a dollar. We'll address that later. Or or we just do what I normally do. Cash out and then just wait for the earnings to come out and play it like that. Because I don't know anything about CBLX. All I know is charts, and I know this thing is up huge since we bought it, and I want to lock it up, but I still want to be involved. So how do I do that? Sell the stock, buy the option. So again, I might go short term. August is only a couple of weeks away. I'd rather probably go if I want to own it. You want to go a little bit further out. I'm not going to pay that. But if you look at these options, they're really, really, really expensive because the stock is a coiled spring. So we could always just chase it in the aftermarket. So I just don't know if I want to go into it long. But you know what? If it's at $12, it's going to be an easy decision today just to take. And again, I'm not talking about a lot of shares here. None of these positions are life changing in any way. But I just want to update you on what I'm doing because I've been on fire. And if you've been following me, GDRX, come on, people. You didn't think that one was going to work, did you? I gave you a ring 2 days before it popped 5 points, right? Basically, got one loser, one loser. So if anybody has a fund, you want to go up against my fund, you think you're a swing trader, you want to out try to swing me. I just showed you I can swing trade with the best of them. I can invest, but I'd still rather just do my blues and orange lines, stick and move, take the money, cash out, see you in Nashville, let's party. All right. I'll see you guys at the open. If you haven't sent me an email, the easiest way to get in touch with me, kennyblick at AOL.com. I know that's why I do it. You can laugh, you can cry. You still have an AOL account. Not only do I have one AOL account, I have seven AOL accounts. So, oh, by the way, I haven't let out the Warlockian cry in a while because, again, if you're lost out there, just listen for the cry. Aha! Aha! If you're ever lost out there, my VWAPian warlocks out there, just listen for the battle cry. And then if you give the battle cry, I will come running to save you. All right? I will save you all. So come and join it, man. And by the way, Rig, now if today was Friday, we'd be very excited because we could buy some 850 calls and throw some dice and have some fun. Because man, if Rig was under 850 at the open on a Friday, I'm immediately buying 100 or 200 850 calls. I love Rig. I still think it's going, at least at $10. So I look at this gap as an opportunity. And you got your 15 cents. And again, 15 cents on an $8 stock. We're not talking about, massive moves, but it is what it is, trading $8 stock. And this moves like an $8 stock. Doesn't move like one of these pump and dumps. But again, profit taking was to be expected on the numbers. Stock is rallying for the last 3 months. And here we are. Hopefully it goes back under 850 and we get to buy a little cheaper. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the rig still. And I'm gonna get a borrow on this Tupperware because I think I actually do want to short it at least once or twice today. All right. I'll see you on the flip side. If anybody's gonna be in the city tomorrow, I'll be at the Bowery partying with my son. Airborne Toxic Event. If you don't know them, get to know Airborne Toxic Event. 6 albums of pure awesomeness. They're doing their album straight through. So it's like the Grateful Dead to me. I'm going to see them on Wednesday. I'm going to see them on Friday. And I was actually going to go to see them on Saturday too, but I'll be in the city. I'm going to go see a Yankee game, and then I'm going to see Fish, cramming as much as I can with my son before we leave, and then we're off to JMU. All right, and then I'm going to need a new assistant that I can beat. All right, I'll see you guys later, and we're out of here.